Hi friends, hope your family and you are doing well and are safe and healthy. Now the topic that I am going to discuss is getting back to work in a new normal. Before we discuss on the protocols for reopening the building, let me tell you what is novel coronavirus disease is. Novel coronavirus disease is also called as COVID-19 is an acute respiratory disease caused by a novel coronavirus that leads to cough, fever, and difficulty in breathing. Coronavirus transmitted in most instances through respiratory droplets, direct contact with cases, and also through contaminated surface or objects. Though the virus survives on environmental surfaces for a varied period of time, it gets easily inactivated by chemical disinfectants. Now coming to the protocol that we have to adhere for reopening the building post-lockdown. In step 1, we have to prepare the building by disinfecting indoor areas including office spaces. So office spaces including conference rooms should be cleaned every evening after office hours or early in the morning before the rooms are occupied. If contact surface is visibly dirty, it should be cleaned with soap and water prior to disinfection. Prior to cleaning, the worker should wear disposable rubber boots, gloves and a triple layer mask. Start cleaning from cleaner areas to proceed towards dirtier areas. All indoor areas such as entrance lobbies, corridors, staircases, escalators, elevators, security guard booths, office room, meeting rooms, cafeteria should be mopped with disinfected with 1% sodium hypochlorite or phenolic disinfectants. The following guidelines should be used for preparing fresh 1% sodium hypochlorite solution. High contact surfaces such elevator buttons, handrails, handle and call buttons, escalator handrails, public counters, intercom system, equipment like telephone, printers, scanners and other office machines should be cleaned twice daily by mopping with a linen or absorbable cloth soaked in 1% sodium hypochlorite. Frequently touch areas like tabletops, chair handles, pens, diary files, keyboards, mouse pad, tea coffee dispensing machine, etc. should especially be cleaned. For metallic surfaces like door handles, security locks, keys should be cleaned with 70% alcohol since the use of bleach is not suitable. Hand sanitizer stations, preferably touch-free or foot operated, or you can say paddle operated, should be installed in office premises, especially at the entry and near high contact surfaces. In a meeting, conference room, office room, if someone is coughing without following respiratory etiquettes or mask, the areas around his or her seat should be vacated and cleaned with 1% sodium hypochlorite. Carefully clean the equipment used in cleaning at the end of the cleaning process. Remove PPE, discard in a disposable PPE in yellow disposable bag and wash hands with soap and water. In addition, all employees should consider cleaning the work area in front of them with a disinfectant wipe prior to use and sit one seat further away from others if possible. Disinfectants of outdoor areas. Outdoor areas have less risk than indoor areas due to air currents and exposure to sunlight. This includes parking, internal roads, etc. Cleaning and disinfection efforts should be targeted to frequently touch contaminated surfaces as already detailed above. Now we'll be discussing on the disinfection of toilets, which is in the step 2. So sanitary workers must use separate set of cleaning equipment for toilets and separate set of sink and commode. They should always wear disposable protective gloves while cleaning a toilet. 70% alcohol can be used to wipe down the surface where the bleach is not suitable. Always use freshly prepared 1% sodium hypochlorite. Do not use disinfectant spray on potentially highly contaminated areas such as toilet bowl or surrounding surfaces as it may create splashes which can further spread the virus. To prevent cross-contamination, discard cleaning material made of cloth and in appropriate bag after cleaning and disinfecting. Wear new pair of gloves and fasten the bags. Disinfect all cleaning equipment after use and before use in the area. Disinfected bucket by soaking bleach solution or rinse in hot water. This is the I mean the table you will able to see the areas how this to be clean and what are the agents and toilet cleaner need to be used are being mentioned. I would request just go through the table once before you implement the cleaning protocol. In step 3, we'll be discussing on the inspection of building core infrastructure. Since building may have been shut down with little warning and preparation, a best practice is to thoroughly inspect for any damage or issues caused by the vacancy. The physical condition and operation of equipment and services supporting the building also should be assessed. And it should be starting with mechanical system, next water system, underwater system, chilled and condenser water, open and closed loops, and water features to be checked. Conveyance to be checked, potable water, flush the faucets, fires and life safety systems, ensure open side drains are inspected and traps are primed. Building system should be started methodically to prevent load shed from a simultaneous start. Depending on length of time equipment has been inactive, system should be allowed to run for a period of time with careful observation to ensure valves, switches, etc. are opening correctly. Specific system action may be required to restart the system after prolonged shutdown. Sites may determine necessity for each of these items based on the length of shutdown and condition as inspected. Consider testing CO levels around systems that may circulate air throughout the building. Review building water management plans for domestic and process water systems. Work with water treatment service provider to ensure chemical levels are defined range within defined ranges for cooling towers, closed water system, water filter. Air filter should be replaced after flushing the building. Refer manufacturer's recommendation and guidance for filter selection. When replacing air filters including HEPA filters, use proper safety procedure and PPE. Avoid heating, dropping and shocking of the filter. Do not use compressed air to clean a filter which could allow material in the filter to become airborne. Properly dispose of used filters and PP gloves in a sealed plastic bag. Clean hands when the task is finished. Minimize exposure to building interior areas when the removing old filters from site. Recommended approach is transport to a waste collection area without entering the building. Our alternate approach is if it is impossible to dispose the filter without transporting through the building, choose routes that minimize exposure to normally occupied areas, including freight elevators and minimally used support cases space. Building engineer should also verify the operation and mechanical system and restore all sequences, set points, schedule modified during the rollback operation. Flushing system, the building with fresh air based on the design of the makeup outside air system and if possible to leading sustainability standards as LEED, BREEAM and WELL for minimum 24 hours and ideally for 48 to 70 hours. 72 hours. After the building is flushed, building engineer should change the air filters if it is available as an added precaution. Follow manufacturer recommendation for filter reconditions. Also, we will be requesting increase the fresh air intake. Now, I am into the step 4 and we will be discussing on the social distancing plan. Space planning solution can be used to reduce transmission of contagious disease among colleagues to work through social distancing. Solution may differ depending on how many people are expected to return to work versus continuing to work from home. Understanding that dynamics will allow calculation of the total workforce expected to accommodate in the office and assessment of the demand for workplaces. Consider the following range of precaution and social distancing measures. The first thing is the space use or the density monitoring. So determine a method of conducting regular counts of occupants per floor or add sensor to quantify utilization of spaces. Provide real-time meters or dashboards at the entries to display how many people are present if possible. You might have aware that in every of the state government they had issued a notification. Somewhere they are allowing 25%, somewhere it is 10%, somewhere it may happen 50%. So based on the state government recommendation, it has to be decided. Now coming to the circulation of spaces, designate and signpost the direction of foot traffic in main circulation paths, corridors, stairs, entries. Consider one-way circulation routes throughout the workplace if possible. Mark increments of locally acceptable social distance on floors where queues could form. Next, I am coming to individual seats. Only use alternate desk, disable the use of alternate desk, or remove alternate desk altogether to maintain social distancing of at least 6 feet. Add desks to spaces previously used to for group activities. So, like we can convert the training, meeting room, cafe area to a desk area. For meeting and shared spaces, first thing we will be doing is that decommission and repurpose large gathering spaces, reduce capacity of spaces, that is remove some chairs from large meeting rooms, prohibit shared use of small rooms by groups and convert to single occupant use only, close or forbid use of some rooms, calculate the maximum capacity of each room by dividing the net usable area by square of the locally acceptable social distance, and communicate these capacity via signage and room reservation too. Now coming to the elevator and escalators, methods for managing the use of elevators might include the following: social distancing queue management for waiting passengers, instructional signage displaying healthy elevator use, protocols including passenger limits and safe distance in the carriage, or use of floor stickers to establish distancing zones and describe where and how to stand. Now coming to the operational rules, no employee should be closer than 6 feet from another. Lunch break to be staggered to avoid gatherings. Use of staircases to be encouraged. In case of lifts, no more than 2 to 4 people should be allowed at a time. No non-essential visitors allowed in office. Now coming to the health and hygiene. Mask must for all employees. Ad- Adequate hand sanitizers to be available in stairs, elevator lobbies, and all other building common areas. Thermal screening mandatory for all staffs. All workplaces to keep a list of COVID hospital nearby. Use of Aragya Setu app to be encouraged. Temporarily close fitness facilities if any. Next is shipping and receiving areas. So before reopening, operators and billing managers should review the current processes for inbound and outbound deliveries. That is parcel, mail, food deliveries, couriers, and so forth, and develop a revised plan to align to COVID-19 safety precaution. This might include routing instruction and plan to avoid deliveries through employee or main entrance, and instead of route these areas that will minimize contact with a larger building population. Separating shipping and receiving areas from the general population, require personnel handling mail and parcel to wear PPE to receive parcel, mail and other deliveries, and train them in the proper use and disposal of PPE. Sanitizing the exterior of packing, if appropriate, removing items from boxes and appropriately discarding. At last, in step 5, we will be discussing on how the building will be declared ready for occupancy. Buildings and occupant spaces should only be declared ready for occupancy after building owners, management teams, and tenants have coordinated and communicated on preparation. Transparency, ongoing communication, and awareness will be vital to a successful transition back into the physical environment. A state of readiness should include confirmation that all building inspections are complete, any required remediation is complete, any required repairs to equipment, building areas, and system have been completed. An occupant communication plan is developed, ideally a collaboration of owner, building managers, and occupants, and ready for lunch, describing the measures taken to ensure the immediate and ongoing health and safety of the workforce. Hope you like my video. If yes, please like and subscribe my channel for further updates. Thank you.